Another update, another event. In this video, we're going to be talking about the new Clearing the Air event in Alpha 4.6 and the best way to do it so you can unlock all those sweet rewards. If you want to know the backstory of this event, basically the people in Levski suck at making air filters. In fact, they suck so much they now have a bad mold problem, and instead of letting the space communists figure it out themselves, the UEE decided to lend them a helping hand in the form of alliance aid, cause they are such good people. My description of the lore may not be 100% accurate, but I don't care. There's a new entry in the journal called Alliance Aid. Clicking on it will show you 4 reward tracks. There's the overall reward track at the top, and the 3 mission specific reward tracks, each with their own rewards. Unlike the Race for Sand event where you could do any mission to unlock all the rewards, looks like you'll have to do all the mission types to unlock all the rewards in this one. Doesn't that sound like fun? You don't have to do all the missions to get the 30k reward. You could get 30k points in collection, for example, and still get the 30k reward. It's just a sum total. Another key difference is that there's now rep levels for these missions. So right now if we scroll through the contracts, there are 19 missions. A lot of these missions are small hauling, collection, defending, and as you do more of a type of mission, you'll get more, larger contracts of that specific mission type. Then there's also FTL Courier for those small package missions. The FTL Courier mission involves finding a box from a shipwreck and then delivering it to the designated facility where we will put it on a shelf, and that's about it. It gives 150 points for transport and 39,000 AUA. So let's first start with collection missions. The threshold to unlock medium missions is 600 points and large missions at 1200 points. There are 5 materials that are required for these missions: Laronite, Borase, Bexalite, pressurized ice, and Dakari pods. These can be acquired through any means, either through mining, harvesting, buying through terminals, or forcefully borrowing it from someone. If I know anything from previous events, it's that there's gonna be a lot of demand for these things, and trying to buy through terminals is gonna be like buying anything from Walmart on Black Friday. If you want to know the best place to mine the minerals needed for this event, I suggest going to Regolith. The best place to find Laronite according to Regolith is this mining base near Hurston, with a 38% spawn rate. The best place to find Borase would be around Checkmate Station in Pyro, with a 20% spawn rate. The highest in Sand is Hurl 5 at 17%. For Bexalite, that would be RMB Lanks in cluster GRP839 in Pyro with a 33% spawn rate. If you want to know where that is, it's right here. If you're not fond of Pyro, the best place to find Bexalite in Sand would be this mining base in Hurston. And for Ice, that can only be found in Pyro. The best place to find it would be RAB Whiskey with a 50% spawn rate. Then there are the Dakari pods. You can identify them by these white bulbs that look like potatoes surrounded by red grass or a nest of red grass, and they always spawn in pairs. They can be found in blue loot boxes throughout the persistent universe. You can also buy them in Pyro in these outposts, although stock is limited. Apparently only 25 are in stock at a time, and also it's Pyro. You better be ready for a fight. They also spawn in 2 farms in Stan, Weeping Cove in Hurston, and Moorland Hills in Microtech. Weeping Cove is easy enough to navigate to. It has its own quantum beacon, which also means a lot more people are probably gonna go there. Moorland Hills does not have a quantum beacon. To get there, you have to fly 55.6 kilometers from Harper's Point at a bearing of 335. In both farms, the Dakari pods will spawn in greenhouses. You can harvest up to 24 of them for each farm, and they will respawn an hour after they're picked. Of course, this is not some well-kept secret. People are going to be going to these places for this event, so don't expect this to be a way to get this event done quick. You can also find them in the environment in Pyro 1. Might be more preferable compared to camping farms in Hurston or Microtech because they spawn in large groups, and well, not everyone goes there. These Dakari pods I found around the Lazarus Transport Hub. I don't know how often they spawn all over Pyro 1, but from my brief time skimming over the surface, I was able to gather 36 of these pods. The Bexalite, Ice, and Dakari pods go to New Babbage in Microtech, and the Laronite and Borase go to Lorville in Hurston. So let's cut to the chase. What is the best way to complete the collection track to get all the rewards? Well, focus on small missions only. They only require 3 or 4 SUs of minerals except for Ice, which requires 8, and they all give around 300 plus points. If we do the math, to complete the collection track, you only need 124 SUs of Laronite, or 31 SU boxes, 102 SUs of Bexalite, 84 SUs of Borase, or 264 SUs of Ice. The Courier pods only give 255 points for 6 pods, which means you'll need 240 of them to finish the track. Seems like a lot, but compared to the large mission that has you harvesting 175 pods for 600 points, it's comparatively a lot less work. Not to mention, CIG recently nerfed refining output by almost half, from 85% to 45% in Alpha 4.5, so you're gonna have to do a lot more mining than before. Let's say for example you're mining Laranite, and you go to HURL 1 to refine it, which has a bonus of 2%. You will need to mine 270 SUs of raw Laranite to get 124 SUs of refined minerals, basically 3 full mole loads. You could go to Levski to get the 7% bonus, but personally I'd rather not go to the Nyx system just to refine them. For me though, what I did was picking the Courier pods early on during the event, and then I stored them all at New Babbage and spammed the supply mission over and over until I was done that reward track. Between mining and the Courier pods, of course it's all down to preference, but from what I did, if you want to get this done as fast as possible, I might have to go with the Courier pods, because with mining you have to wait days for the refinery before you can turn them in. The pods are ready to go as soon as you pick them, and I was able to finish the whole track in less than 2 days. For cargo missions, I would just stick with the small ones. They give 225 points, only involve moving 6 1SU boxes, and I would avoid the interstellar cargo hauls because going to Nyx has not been reliable for me. The threshold for unlocking bigger contracts are 500 and 1000 points, but those take more time and the points rewards aren't that much better. A lot of these missions involve moving stuff from New Babbage, so be prudent to set your home location there, which I unfortunately didn't do. Now this will require a lot of planning and tracking to be able to do this quickly and efficiently. You want to get a reasonably sized cargo ship, like a Nomad at least, and you're going to accept every small cargo mission coming from New Babbage. Now one of these missions requires you to go to another spaceport. In this case here, that would be Area 18. So you accept another mission originating from Area 18, which is this one, which tasks me to go to Crew L1. Then it's a matter of deciding which delivery you want to do first and organizing your cargo in that order. Personally, I would go do the Area 18 delivery last, so then I can pick up the last delivery order and not have to worry about any existing cargo in my ship. It took me about 30 or so minutes to complete the entire circuit and netted me 900 points, although I was using a VK00 quantum drive, which is the fastest size 1 QT drive in the game, so that's a pretty big factor. Doing it 11 times will get you 9900 points. Then you could just do one of those FTL Courier missions, or do it 10 times plus a Milestone Contract to complete the reward track. For defense missions, to unlock the larger missions, just do one attempted cargo theft contract and you'll instantly unlock all the missions. Now which large defense mission is the best for completing the defense track? Well, to test this out, I whipped out my Corsair armed with attrition repeaters. One thing to note is that larger payouts doesn't always give the most points. The highest paying mission, Ship Under Attack, gives 466,000 AWAC and 300 points, which took about 6 minutes to do. Hauler Hunters only give 74k but gives 225 points. It took me about 8 minutes to complete, although I was being creative with asteroids. If I went in guns blazing, it'd probably take me about half the time, about 4 to 5 minutes. However, I would get less mileage out of my ship before I had to repair, but I think the time saved doing that might be worth it. But the Protection Detail mission, which is an escort mission, pays 233,000 AWAC and only gives 150 points, about as much as Resource Raiders. I was honestly shocked that it gave so little. So that mission right there, not worth it at all. Just as much work as Ship Under Attack for half the points and half the money. The Thwart Cargo Jacking mission may be familiar to some of you if you watch my Race for Stand video. Instead of fighting the enemy ships surrounding the cargo ship, get a really fast ship and just fly up to it. If it's the Hercules, take the elevator to the top deck. Apparently the enemy ships won't target the ship while you're in the elevator, then run to the cockpit, power on the ship and its engines, and quantum out of there as fast as possible. If it's a Caterpillar, just skip it, abandon it and try again, because with the Caterpillar you have to move 70 plus boxes to the freight elevator, but with the Hercules you only have to move like 20ish on average. So we're talking almost 3 times the work for the same reward and payout. You're better off just re-rolling for the Hercules. Then it's just a matter of going to Seraphim or whatever space station the mission assigned to you. So in addition to the 198k payout, I also got 600 points from that mission, but it's also the longest to complete. It took me about 13 minutes to complete this mission, but that was with 18 boxes. I've also had missions with up to 39 boxes, so it could take a lot longer. Alright, now the question is which mission is the best one to do? Which large mission should you go for? Well, it depends. After crunching the numbers, other than protection detail, which is utter dogshit, I would say hauler hunters. It is the fastest, easiest, other than cargo jacking maybe, and the most consistent out of all the missions. It gives 225 points per completion, and with the right ship, it could be done in less than 5 minutes. So we're talking like 675 points every 15 minutes, 2700 points per hour, so you get 10,000 points in less than 4 hours. Maybe 3.5, but that is the best large mission. The actual best mission might not be a large mission at all. In fact, it's one of the small missions, in the form of attempted cargo theft. It's like cargo jacking, but this time the ships are either a cutter or an Avenger, and you only have to deliver 2 boxes, way less than the 18 to 40 big boxes from the Hercules or 70 plus from the Caterpillar. It takes less than 5 minutes to do and gives 300 points. In a way, you could do at least 3 cargo theft missions for every cargo jacking mission and get at least 900 instead of 600 points. So in terms of fastest completion, I think attempted cargo theft edges out hauler hunters. And the defense missions have the worst payouts of all the missions, so just get the 10,000 points and be done with it. If you are looking to make a lot of money off of this event, the collection mission seems like the best missions for that. In fact, the mission payouts are much better compared to selling the minerals themselves. Selling 85 SUs of Laranite at 5.7k each will only net you 486k, but completing the large Laranite mission will give you over 1.5 million AWAC, more than triple the money. Same thing with pressurized ice. Bexlite though is a lot more modest, but still hundreds of thousands more than selling. And that's the fastest way to complete all 3 reward tracks. You might notice I haven't talked about the Milestone Contracts. These one-time contracts unlock at 5,000 points for each reward, and they're different, but also not that good. The collection track has the Molina mold samples where you have to go into the tunnel at the Grand Barter in Levski and collect 5 Molina mold. They're not easy to spot, but if you see a large flat top, that's most likely pickable for this contract. Before going to Levski, I recommend setting your spawn at Port Tressler or New Babbage so that once you go there and collect those 5 mold samples, you can kill yourself for a logout and you'll skip the long travel from Levski to New Babbage. Completing this contract will net you 66,500 AUAC and 424 points. The cargo tract has the double interstellar haul, which tasks you with collecting 32 2SU boxes of med supplies and filters from New Babbage and Lorville and delivering it to Levski. Pretty straightforward. Completing this mission will net you 183k and 1166 points. Pro tip, instead of going straight to Levski from Stan Gateway, take a little detour, because there might be some gentlemen along the way who might want to stop you and just check to see how you're doing. The defense track has an urgent rescue mission which tasks you with collecting 4 cryopods in the Glacium belt from an Avenger that's under attack by 6 ships and delivering it to Port Tressler for 675 points and a 109k payout. When I first tried to do it, I wanted to self-delete myself, because every time I go into the next tunnel, it would spit me back out into Stan. Like, how is this still a problem? Normally I wouldn't recommend doing these missions, but I think you should do them. There's gotta be a reason CIG added these to the event. Maybe there's a reward at the end, I don't know. Just do them. Speaking of rewards, that's what we're here for after all, right? I ain't helping these space commies out of the goodness of my heart. In total, there are 13 rewards throughout this event. They range from new clothing, new armor items, ship liveries, gadget skins, and an item fabricator with a custom skin. But that will only be available once crafting goes live in a future update. I don't know about you, but right now this might be the only way to acquire an item fabricator. CIG will probably implement another way to acquire an item fabricator in game without paying real money, but as of right now this is the only way, and who knows, this might be the easiest way to get one, which may be cool and unusual for the players who didn't participate and complete this event. If you have a friend or a group of friends, then it's highly recommended you guys party up and do these missions together. The point rewards are not split when doing these missions together. So for example, if you completed Thwart cargo jacking, you will all receive 600 points. The payout will still be split though, but as I've said many times throughout the video, it's all about the points. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed or found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe and ring that bell. What do you guys think of this event? Let me know in the comments below. No doubt some of you are going to be complaining about another grind fest of an event. I'm not exactly happy about it either. In the meantime, you're going to need a fast quantum drive to do this event, especially the cargo missions, because you're going to be spending a lot of time quantum traveling to and from, and if you want to know where you can find the fastest quantum drives to complete this event faster, then I highly recommend you watch this video right here.